What's up, world? So we are back with a impromptu beer review, and tonight I have a special guest with me. Actually, you've probably seen him on all the hangouts already. He's kind of like my right hand, Ed McMahon, right there. So, got my boy Joe out of Buffalo. What's up, Joe?
Yes, indeed, sir.
So we're actually deciding to take a look tonight at one from out of Canada. So this is from Unibroue. And I'm going to take a look at Le Fin de Monde. So if you've had this before, you might be familiar with it. Haven't done a review on it and decided, talking with Joe, I'm kind of messing around with some different ideas with the channel. So I might do a few more of these reviews kind of like this, where they're going to be like the hangout type format rather than the video uploads. But we decided to kind of throw that out there. And then if you guys have any questions or anything, go ahead and put those out there on the comment board. We'll probably get those towards the end of everything. But we want to go ahead and just check out this and kind of do like more of a live type review that we don't have to worry about. Someone's been doing like outtakes and trying to edit and put stuff up there like you often see out there. So we'll go and get this one cracked open. We'll share some stuff about Unibroue that I have from their website here. But anything you want to add right now, Joe?
I don't know how many people out there are aware, but Unibroue is owned by Sapporo now. They were actually Sleeman, a Canadian corporation brewery. They used to own them. Well, technically they owned them in 2004. They bought them, and then Sapporo took over Sleeman in 2006. So this is a macro beer, kind of.
Damn it!
Bit.
Damn it! You brought the opinion early in the game. I was not expecting that to happen so quickly. But yeah,
not right if I don't.
Who's not getting bought out? The Canadians are not getting away from that either. So all these breweries are being taken out by other ones. I'm ready to crack mine open because I am thirsty.
Yeah.
This one comes in at a 9% ABV, 19 IBU. It is a Belgian-style triple, and for those of you that have followed my channel for a while, you know I like the Belgians. They're probably my favorite style for sure. So I'm definitely looking forward to throwing this one down. Now, just so you know, I've had this in the past already, but I have never done a review on it, so that's why I kind of wanted to share this one on here. And this is actually one that Joe actually knows, because I told him I got a crazy deal on. Down here in Kentucky where I'm at, the store, we have Kroger's our main store line, and we can make our own 6-packs. Well, apparently somebody decided to put Unibroues out to make your own 6-pack area. A pack of 4 down here are usually about $10.99 or $11.99, depending if they're on sale or not. You get 6 for $9.99. Now, somebody already got 3 of them, or however many there were before, but I picked up the last 3 I saw because that's what I want to do. I'm no dummy. Throw them right in there, and then I made an assortment with some other beers, but that brought me the Unibroue. So I am ready to crack this baby open and see what this has to offer again. The first time I had it, it was pretty smooth, so hopefully this will be the same.
While you crack it open, I also got a deal similar to you for the first time ever. I was at a local Wegmans in Rochester, New York, and I noticed this. It was a mixed pack of a Unibroue selection pack. It had one each of their Le Fin du Monde, Blanche des Chamblay, their Maudite. I'm so terrible at pronouncing.
Oh, I took French.
I took French
for 2 years language. I still struggle with it. So
yeah, they're Ephemera, Elderbeer, Apple, and the Tout Le Monde, which is a the Megadeth beer. So when I saw it for $9.99 for 6, I was like, yeah, let's try it. The thing with Unibroue, I probably haven't had a Unibroue beer in 3-4 years, so it's cool to revisit.
Yeah, definitely. And that I think the Maudite I might have in the fridge as well as another one there. So I picked that up individually a while back, but have not had that one before. But let's go ahead and get these babies into a glass. I'm actually going to be using kind of a Belgian ale, the style glass for the triple. I don't know what kind of glass you're using. Oh, fancy as well.
And Gazelle Trappist glass that's like you know how they have the tekus, the tekus? This is like I believe they refer to them as a feku, a fake teku. So
yeah.
I mean,
let's see if we can get some smoke in honor of Joe D, maybe.
I already cracked mine open on the side here, so now you're gonna have to provide all the smoke.
It.
Yeah, well, I did it when you were like
everything over the computer when I do it like this. So
okay, when you said let's crack it, I did, and then it was like 2 minutes later, and now you're cracking it.
Well, it's like I see Simon cracking on real ale, and it's like, dude, he like bottle caps fly everywhere.
Well, I'm curious. Mine had nice.
We got smoke!
Look at that smoke, bro! Shout out to Joe D for sure.
That's Joe D shout out right there.
Yeah.
I got too excited. I poured a little quick, so I did pick up a little bit more of a head than I wanted to. But you know what? We'll let it settle there. That releases the proteins and the gases, so we're in good shape.
I have learned my lesson.
Nice, good aroma. Now, I sat mine out for about 15 minutes ahead of time because I wanted to make sure it's not too cold when it gets in there. Obviously, it's going to still have some type of cold with it, but get those flavors open up a little bit more, get that aroma going.
Yeah, mine's out about a half an hour out of the fridge or so.
Good coriander coming out.
Mm-hmm.
Got that nice sweetness to it. I got the pop in. I don't know if you guys can hear that off the camera, but I got a nice fizz on the bubbles.
I always get when it comes to triples and Belgian style, you know, the yeast dictates usually a lot of the senses. I get like a nice spiciness, a little bit of like a pearish type of fruit. Yeah, pear, even like a touch of banana. A lot of citrus and tropical fruit, but it's not, you know, it's not like drinking like a juicy IPA or something. It's more subtle hints of it.
Well, you definitely get the clove for sure.
Mm-hmm. It definitely has a spiciness to it that is unmistakable for a Belgian triple.
Now, these, I believe, my understanding, they are fermented in the bottle or bottle conditioned, which, of course, will be why you have that there. And, you know, for most Belgian ales, if it's a really good Belgian ale, that's going to be the case for the most part. I know we have some Americanized ones like New Belgium. They'll do it before it gets to the bottle, I believe. But I prefer it like this. I like that little look of the haziness and the cloudiness. It kind of adds that, you know, authenticity to it.
Yep.
Nice clear white, nice crisp white head, too.
Yeah, and I don't pick up any alcohol really in the nose. Like, you know, it's 9%. It doesn't smell like it in the least for me.
I would say the pepper is more like a white pepper.
Yeah, this is very. I don't recall it. Again, I haven't had this beer for probably 4 years, and I don't recall it being as spicy. But yeah, pepper and the coriander, a touch of clove, just a lot of spiciness from the yeast.
Well, I say just go ahead and get it down the gullet.
All right, cheers.
Cheers. It's got a nice crisp back to it.
Mm.
I get a little bit of astringency. I'm getting that kind of smacking sensation.
You pick up on the alcohol a little bit more in the taste. I still wouldn't say it's 9% though. Does have like a nice crispness to it, but also has a creaminess at the same time. That's just unique to the style for me. Like a lot of triples have the creaminess. A lot of Belgian styles have that creaminess when it comes to the mouthfeel.
Kick as well in the taste too.
Mm-hmm.
But I like that texture.
Yeah, I'd say this is like medium full bodied. I mean, it has a nice heft to it. It has a viscous to it that viscosity level is quite high with this one.
Yeah, you get a little bit of a touch of the throat going down. Now, I wouldn't call it harsh, but you do feel a little bit of that throat scratching as it goes down on the back end. But with the triple and the spices and everything you're kind of used to, you kind of expect that going in. It just kind of delivers nicely on that part. But what I'm getting now is those flavors getting off the tongue and around the mouth. I'm kind of feeling it in the cheek area a little bit. So you're getting a really nice mouth coating with it, and I'm also getting a nice little mouth feel. Like I could sit this down, have a conversation, and still have the flavors kicking around nicely. And you're not in a rush to really drink it because you want to experience that.
No, like I want to drink it fast because it's tasty, but yeah, it's like there's a lot of complexity to it. Like when people say fruit bowls and they say like, you know, nowadays with IPAs and stuff like that, they're talking about like tropical and citrus fruit. You know, like a lot of pear, even like a touch of banana, and then like a mango. So it's like an actual fruit bowl from all sides for me. And then like that white pepper. You say coriander, I say clove. We're both right or wrong either way.
Well, most of them have coriander and clove, so.
Yeah, and those are unmistakable in this one. Yeah. I wouldn't say it's like aggressively spicy, but for me, it's the predominant note. It sticks out, but it's not overwhelming, and it doesn't bother me at all. I enjoy that with the rest of the fruity characteristics.
Yeah, I can see why they put foil in a bottle cap. I mean, they got the U on there, but this bottle caps would beat the hell. So
yeah, they are torn up.
Because that's why they foil them.
Imagine there's tape on it. There's like there's sticky residue on it. So
yeah,
I don't know if you'll be saving that one, Rod.
But it's not overly carbonated at all. It's very palatable.
No, like I said, there's a nice crispness there, but I mean, I like
it has a little bit of a sourness there too, which I like.
Yeah, a very slight, like almost acidic type of note.
Not like the sourness like people are used to with the tart beers either.
Well, you got the cake sediment here. I'm going to pour the rest of it in. And
that's what I just did on mine.
just to see what it. A lot of times it just changes the mouthfeel and gives you more of like a creamy sensation and maybe a little bit more vibrant character, but it doesn't usually change it all that much.
Now, for those of you out there, if you're not as familiar with Unibroue, you can check out their website here as well, which is unibroue.com, and you can see their different things. So I actually pulled up their beer page here. You can see their family of beers. Nice looking beer page on what they have and everything. Kind of gives you all the ABV and stuff. You can get into more of the detail. So here's the one we're looking at right now, Le Fin de Monde. View more there, a nice triple. See what else pulls up on this information. I feel like I'm going into Assassin's Creed right now. So to give you the good details, and this is something I like from a lot of breweries to do, it gives you where you want to serve temperature. And one of the things like I tell people, like you don't want to always drink your beers ice cold. I mean, everything is not a lager that you have to do that with, especially like the macro lagers. And it tells you here 54 to 57 Fahrenheit. So again, you look at why Joe and I have set these out ahead of time. These are how these are designed to actually be enjoyed. And if you're overseas or anywhere outside of America that uses the metric system or Celsius, then you have 12 to 14. Top fermentation, it actually tells you right there. And then you also have a little bit of information. This has been brewed since 1994. Origin is Chambly, Quebec, and to date, Le Fin de Monde has earned more medals and awards in major international competitions than any other Canadian beer. It is Unibroue's international flagship ale. They even drop in a little bit of a fact sheet for you so you can actually go through and get more detail. So depending on how much you want to get your beer geek on, you can get in here and see a lot of this information. It talks about the aftertaste, pleasant, lingering, warm finish. Like I said, you can sit here and have a conversation and be able to easily enjoy this beer. Great finish on the back end, very pleasant. Like Joe said, he's ready to just finish the whole thing. You get all of that with this.
It's scary. It's scary because it's 9%, but it goes down so easy. But at the same time, it's so complex, and you can drink it any way you really want to. Like I can see someone just tearing this down in 10 minutes, and someone sitting and sipping it for an hour. But there's no right or wrong way because it's fucking a great beer. It's amazing.
Definitely, and it gives you a little bit of more history about the brewery and stuff here. Again, talking about the beer, color, anything you want to know about it. And these are also a good way for people to actually go in and learn styles of beers. It gives you stuff about the nose, the floral bouquet, the fresh baguette. I can't talk right now. With the aromas of honey, spices, coriander, malt, and alcohol. We talked about the coriander being in there. We kind of got the spice stuff. You do get that sweetness from like the honey aroma as well. The flavor of it, mildly hoppy palate with notes of grains. Again, at 19 IBU, you're not going to get a lot of hops in that regard, but you do have a little bit of a bite there for sure. Fruit and spice there.
It's not like it's when you get into Belgian styles, they're not all about the bitterness like a lot of American styles. They focus more on they derive a lot of their flavors from the yeast specifically, and the hops are kind of just a backdrop to balance everything else. And this being a triple, it's all focusing on the yeast and just the fruitiness, the spiciness, and it has, because of the high ABV too, big malt content. They talk about honey and stuff, and I can see that, but it's just like for me like a generic confectionery sweetness. But it's just so well made, it's a very good beer, and it's something that if people out there haven't had this before, I'm pretty sure this is widely available in the United States. If you haven't had a chance to try this and you are a big Belgian fan, you owe it to yourself to go back. This is like a classic North American Belgian style beer. If you haven't had it, you owe yourself. Go grab one, try it.
Yeah, definitely one I would recommend trying, especially if you're a Belgian fan like I am. It's just one of those ones you want to pick up and give a try to. And very nice, even though we talked earlier on that this is one that's been bought by Sapporo, it seems like they're leaving Unibroue alone. Would I say it's all to the full level of where we see some of the Belgian ales that are out there? You look at your Chimay and you look at your Golden Drops and you look at your Devels. I'm not going to say it's fully there, but it's not that far behind it either.
No, and they do say Belgian style because they cannot say it's a Belgian ale because it's not in Belgium, right? They're from Quebec, Canada. So
monks were harmed in the making of this beer.
But I mean, the one thing that we talked about right at the beginning is price point. I mean, you and I both could have picked 6-packs up. I got a mix pack for $9.99. You'd be hard pressed in the United States of America to find a Belgian style beer for like $1.75 a bottle. That's unheard of. Basically, you're paying usually double that price.
Not where I shop, and that's a different.
Jeez. I had to do my best Lance there. Jeez.
But there's some good stuff on the website if you want to check it out, and if you're curious where you can find it and how you can find it, we're looking at this one here with the 12-ounce bottles. They do the bigger bottle as well, and of course it is on draft. Kind of neat their aging process, 3 to 5 years on this one. And here's a list of the awards they actually have won through all these different competitions over here.
Also, one thing to point out before I forget, in case anyone cares, because there is a lot of people who do, but our bottling date on these beers are about 2 weeks apart, which is pretty cool. We're kind of in sync. It's not like you have a 1-year-old beer and I have a fresh one or anything. We're on the same level.
Right. Yeah, and that's another thing too with the bottling date. Like the bottling date on mine, and it's not something you usually see in American beers as much. 11/15/19. So we're in August 2017. I got 2 years plus some months on this one, and Joe's is like December 5th of 2019.
December 1st.
December 1st, 2019. So it's crazy, but yeah. So they had those beers out there for a while. Again, well-crafted beer, in my opinion. Suggested glass right here is more of a suggested glass of a tulip for this type of one here. And I believe I would call it a tulip, but I mean, I guess it could kind of sounds like, it's definitely thinner than what a snifter would be. And you have your food pairings. I thought it mentioned something on the bottle. Maybe I was wrong thinking about the food pairings before.
I thought it did. Maybe not.
Yeah.
Just as the SRM, the IBUs, and
which I could see it like something like this with some mussels actually wouldn't be bad at all.
Yeah,
never had Ratatouille, but I've seen the movie.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
Yeah.
Something with like fresh seafood. I think this would go
sausages
well.
Also, yeah, sausages would be awesome with this one because you're playing off that kind of cracking of the sausage and the spices involved there too, which would make it a nice one as well. And something like a quiche or omelet, I'd have it for breakfast. I have no problem having it with an omelet. Have it for brunch.
Yeah.
But some pretty neat pairings on here. I mean, I got to give it to them. They actually do a good job on their sites on providing a lot of good details. Even if you want to cook with it, they got recipes out there that you can use. Cocktails you can use the beer in as well. So very nice design on here.
I was going to say, as the great late Dusty Rhodes would say, I think this would pair very well with some of your more pungent cheeses, baby, like your Gorgonzolas or your blue cheese.
Oh yeah.
No, like I said earlier, though, I mean, if you really haven't had this, and it's not one of those things, because I mean, it's Unibroue, everyone should, you have to try it just to see, even if you don't like Belgians. Like you clearly have stated your love for Belgians. I have a love-hate relationship. Some of the styles I'm not usually a huge fan of, but some I am, and this one it works for me, and it's, like I said, well priced, and it's a very well made beer.
Yeah,
and it's easy to get here. So
would you buy it again?
Oh yeah, I'm actually honestly disappointed in myself that I haven't bought it in the last, say, I think it's been about 4 years, probably 2013, because it's one of those beers where you revisit and you're like, wow, why didn't I buy this last week? Why haven't I been buying this a couple times a year and revisiting, and then you drink it and you're like, it's good. It's stupid. There's a lot of beers available, but like classics like this that are just really good and well priced, should be buying them more often, but that's on me.
Yeah, I would definitely buy this one again, and after seeing some of the other line out there, I might try some more of their beers. Definitely worth it. I mean, you got that sampler pack, so it'd be interesting to get your thoughts on that as you work yourself through those.
I can't wait.
Any comments or anything that we need to address before we
do have a couple comments. I will just stick to the ones. We have Boondock, Backwood Boondock Brew Review. We have Paul for PA Brew News. We have Drunken One. The ones that I guess that are referencing our actual review, not silliness,
right.
Is Paul said that he got a case of this, and Troy Pistels, which is, again, I'm terrible with the French, but for $60 And he said, haha, they didn't last long. So he's obviously a fan of the of this beer and some others from Unibroue, which, again, if you haven't had them and you haven't had a chance to try anything from Unibroue, they're a good brewery. Check them out.
Yeah, very solid. So we're probably going to come back and probably do a hangout. So everybody wants to join, just let us know. If you want to throw a comment up there, then we'll get you the link and everything. But appreciate you swinging by. Again, this is something new we're toiling around with. You know, any feedback you want to provide on it, but we thought we'd have a little more fun and give you guys kind of a live review versus some of the stuff that some people sometimes see where people are prepared for it ahead of time or things along those lines. So hopefully you enjoyed it and look forward to talking to you shortly. But Joe's got
one thing, Rod. Now I know you don't usually rate stuff, but you do post your Untapped ratings in the comments. So if you had to rate it on Untapped, what are you going to give this on Untapped when you do check it in?
When I do check in on Untapped, that's a good point. I usually don't put the ratings on the videos, but they are on the blogs. If you go to the website, I'll usually put them in at the end as well. But I'm going to actually give this one, it's very good. So that's going to easily put it in the 4 level. I'd probably say 4.25 out of 5.
That's exactly where I'm, probably in the 4 to 4.25. I can't decide, but it's, it's
easily very good and a little bit better than that. That I can definitely see, drinking this any time of year, really kicking back, really enjoying, really relaxing. As far as everything they put together, it's a great looking beer. It's got everything you would want body-wise, like you said, it's about probably like a medium to full body, but it doesn't feel heavy. It's got the right amount of flavor, the right amount of texture in there. It's a great package.
Yeah, and pouring in the sediment, the yeast sediment at the end, all it did was kind of enhance that creaminess, that I got from the beginning. That's pretty much it. Everything else stayed the same.
I mean, even the lacing that you get at the end, at least on my glass, I'm getting some nice lacing as it goes down too. So all the things I kind of look for in a beer there. Like I said, the thing that to me that probably it shouldn't be against them as much, but it kind of is because the actual Belgian beers that are made are just to that next level. So
yeah, they're it's hard to replicate in North America.
If I never had the other Belgian beers, then it'd be like, oh, this is the greatest thing. Like you're only as good as your universe. So the more you've had, and when me having Belgian beers and having so many of them, it's kind of like it's good, but stacked up against these other ones. If you look at it for the style, they do a great job of hitting the style. But as far as how, for my palate and my personal preference is at that 4 1/4, which is a great score in my mind.
Oh yeah, for sure. And like I said, outside of Belgium and more specifically in North America, they're probably one of the more consistent and better Belgian style ale producers, at least to my knowledge. I'm sure there's maybe local ones out there, but like again, Unibroue is something that's widespread. You can get in the States, you can get in Canada. It's not like you have to, go out of your way to find it. Really, it will find you.
Exactly. So hang around. We'll be back with a hangout because, as Joe knows, I told him I got a fridge full of beer and I need to drink some of this stuff. So we're going to come back, drink some beer, and talk about all kinds of. Who knows? We may have more WWE clips out there. Who knows? We have all kinds of crazy stuff. And if you didn't see us last night, we had a few with Dusty Rhodes calling from heaven, which we're kind of interested. So with that all being said, keep drinking those good craft beers. Cheers, and we will catch you next time.
Cheers.